Hey sports fans, we're back, and today we're here to take a look at the latest entry in the Manning family royalty. What started with Archie Manning's successful career as a New Orleans Saint 40 years ago has since seen sons Peyton and Eli Manning carry on the family torch of Manning greatness to the tune of a couple successful college careers, presumably 2 Hall of Fame careers once Eli gets in, and 4 Lombardi trophies. So, it's no wonder when the latest Manning prospect Arch Manning, son of Peyton and Eli's older brother Cooper Manning, started generating some hype, that the football world started to take notice and has already begun licking their chops at the next great football story. Before we dive into all things Arch Manning to see what his career looks like and what it projects out to, do me a favor and click that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on this channel and more content just like this. All done? Alright, on to our video. What's in a name? When your last name happens to be Manning, that usually means football, and in this case, with high school phenom Arch Manning, that certainly happens to be the case. In the event that you've never heard of the most talked about 16-year-old in all of high school sports, Arch Manning is roughly 6'4" and 215 pounds as a junior. That's pretty much prototypical size for an NFL quarterback, and for the 16-year-old, that still means he has more than a few years left to go. Add in the fact that Arch already has the type of talent that's making people call him the next Manning great, and you have our football feel-good story for 2021 and beyond. While Arch's level of hype is the kind of hype that could be premature, a little overblown, and is usually something that takes on a level of mythical proportion like a John Elway, a Herschel Walker, a Bo Jackson, or a Zion Williamson, in this case, the hype seems to be right on point, and dare we say, maybe even a little underblown. The 16-year-old had his first run-in with the national spotlight when some Twitter videos of him throwing before he was in middle school popped up. When word spread that the teenager with the ridiculous right arm was the son of a Manning, the intrigue began to explode exponentially. Fast forward to this past spring when Arch Manning showed up at Clemson and got to showcase his now legendary soon-to-be high school junior arm. In the video that's since gone viral, Arch with a slick ball flick readies to throw and unleashes a perfect dot down the field to the receiver and receives cheers from all in attendance. The praise for Arch obviously didn't stop there, as the video didn't take long to make the rounds on every sports station and social media outlet. Did Arch Manning know that he was going to make a viral moment when he dropped back to throw the ball? Probably not, but that's the kind of ease that the 16-year-old plays with. Not to mention, he's been playing so long that while the throw may have seemed like a big deal to most, it was just another flick of the wrist and toss for the young quarterback. Let's keep in mind when you grow up in the Manning household, whether it's Cooper, Peyton, or Eli as your father, football is pretty much your institution from the time you can walk. For Arch, who's had a football-playing father, 2 legendary football-playing uncles, and a legendary football-playing grandfather who started it all, football is kind of expected to be your thing since maybe even before you can crawl. Arch Manning reportedly had a football in his arms before he was big enough to throw one, and as soon as he was able to throw one, you better believe he had guidance from his uncles, grandfather, and dad. While Peyton and Eli joke that he learned it all from them, the truth is he learned it from every Manning that came before him, as well as most of the stars you see in the league today. Mahomes, Rodgers, and Russell Wilson, to name a few, have served as inspiration. So far in high school, young Arch Manning, who looks every bit the Manning football wise, and physical stature as you can imagine if you've ever taken a good look at Peyton or Eli, has done enough in his 20 games played to solidify himself as the best quarterback in high school football. His 50 passing touchdowns and 12 rushing touchdowns show a player that was varsity ready from the time he hit high school, and has seen his play and his numbers steadily increase over time to the point where he now appears to be mastering the game. As a freshman, he won Max Prep's Freshman of the Year honors, and has only been building on his game since. In his sophomore debut, when the world was wondering what he could do, he didn't disappoint with 6 touchdowns. As Isidore Newman's signal caller, he proceeded to carve up high school after high school team while generating a national buzz. His junior year is already off to a hot start, with Arch debuting with 4 touchdowns and nearly perfect performance. Arch's level of play already has him as the #1 overall recruit in the nation according to Rivals.com and 2nd overall according to 24/7. And if the public's opinion matters, Arch is already the best prospect since Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields, with some saying he's even more promising than them. Manning is listed as a pro-style quarterback according to scouts, but from watching him play, it's obvious that the dude is as dangerous as it gets with his arm, which he could throw the ball all over the yard with, but it's his mobility that's underrated, as Arch shows he's no flat-foot under duress and can pull the ball down and get large chunks of yard, or turn a would-be 3rd and 15 into a first down just by scrambling. The kid can really do it all. Remember that slick throw we talked about when Arch Manning visited Clemson? Well, Arch had all eyes on him in the building, and as the clip was obviously being recorded, he knew that the world would see, and that didn't stop him from dropping the perfect bomb to a receiver and putting it right in the breadbasket with ease. Currently, Arch is solidifying his name as the top recruit in the country ahead of his highly anticipated senior year in 2022-23. With Clemson, Georgia, and a laundry list of other programs interested, Arch is a topic that will only get bigger as his high school legend grows. Add in the Manning family aura and we're sure that there's some professional teams wishing they could get their hands on him already. That won't be happening thanks to a rule by the NCAA that requires athletes to be 3 years removed from high school. But that hasn't stopped coaches and organizations from lining up to get in on the Arch Manning sweepstakes, with the latest suitor to intrigue Arch being the Alabama Crimson Tide, while others speculating that LSU is next, but they may have to get rid of head coach Ed Orgeron to really get in the sweepstakes, given that LSU hasn't played well on the field and has had its fair share of off-the-field incidents recently. Arkansas, Notre Dame, Florida State, Texas, and Tennessee are also in the mix, so let's just say the future is looking pretty bright for Arch. Can Arch live up to the hype? Absolutely. Given his pedigree, his prestigious level of development, and the fact that he is said to be that kind of hardworking you look for in a quarterback, it's safe to say that the sky's the limit for the 16-year-old. It doesn't hurt to have two-time winning Super Bowl uncles as mentors. Eli is already joking, claiming he taught Arch a thing or two, and is the one who taught him that little ball flick he did before the viral toss against Clemson. It would be interesting to see who handles the development when it comes time for him to take the next step to the collegiate level. But if it really will be his uncles and grandfather who will be tutoring him, the football world may get its best Manning yet. Alright, sports fans, that's it for our time on Arch Manning and the ridiculous talent he is. And to be honest, the son of Cooper Manning has the talent to be the best of the Manning football family prospects if he continues along this path. And chances are the 2023 high school graduate will even be able to battle with Brady like his uncles did if Tom happens to be playing, which is a real possibility given that now he is floating around playing until 50. But that's another story for another day. If you liked the video, let us know and drop a comment to let us know what you think about the 5-star quarterback prospect. As always, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, do me a favor and click that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on this channel and more content just like this. Until next time, sports fans.